can we pencil in, I know it's a weird off season and all that, Brian Edwards as their outside receiver, Ruggs as your movement Z, and Hunter Renfro in the slot. That seems to be what they're looking to do, Greg. Any thoughts
Well,
on that?
I love Ruggs. I loved him, more than a lot of people did. Well, maybe not because he was drafted where he was,
Yeah.
but I think he's more than a speed guy. In fact, I think he's really good as a run after catch guy, and I think that's one thing that probably uh,
Yeah.
enamored him to Gruden. I also really, really liked Brian Edwards. Maybe I was in the minority. I thought Brian Edwards. They drafted him in the third round, right?
Correct.
And
Yep.
I don't normally, assign rounds. I don't do that. I just love the evaluation process. I really like Brian Edwards. He's a rarity. He's a 40-year starter in the SEC. He's big. He's physical. He ran better than you think. The thing I love about watching full games is there were snaps in which he didn't get the ball. Their quarterback situation wasn't great at South Carolina. There were snaps in which he vertically ran by big-time SEC corners, guys like, the guys who played at LSU. The ball wasn't thrown to him, but he's got a little more juice than you think. He's not a vertical weapon, obviously, the way Ruggs is or the Will Fullers, but he's a little more complete than people might think. And I loved his tape, and I thought that was a really good pick.
Yeah, so just wanted to add from the post-draft press conference, the Raiders confirmed he had a high second-round grade on him, so they definitely liked him a lot more than his draft capital implies. He's also the youngest player in this class. Breakout age is something a lot of the analytics people look at with especially wide receivers. He had his first 100-yard game when he was 17 years old in the NCAA. 2.19 yards per route run. Not great, but everything else, looks good within the context of this offense. He averaged in 2018 more yards per game. Oh no, just 6.1 fewer yards per game than Deebo Samuel, who we know broke out and was wildly successful last year in the NFL. By my analytics-based model, I had him as one of the 12 best prospects to come out at the position since 2014.
Greg, I know
Wow.
you have to run
Hey,
in
hey,
like.
John, quick
Go ahead.
point that just
Go ahead.
plays off that.
Sure.
Keep in mind about John Gruden. Obviously, offenses expand, coaches expand their thinking, but John Gruden, deep down, still is a West Coast methodology guy. That's where he
Yeah.
cut his teeth in this league. And so much of what the West Coast offense is built on is hitting guys on the move. In the West Coast offense, those principles and those concepts is not a lot of guys running and sitting down and turning to the quarterback. It's hitting guys on the move. And I think in Ruggs and Edwards, they drafted two guys who are really, really good. If you hit them on the move, which is, as I said, there's a lot of those principles in that offense. You have two guys that are really good in that part. They're both really good run after catch.
And I